It was George's first spring day back in the country. And already, he was starring in a movie.
Hiya, Mr. Rankins.
Hi, Bill. George.
Okay, George. You go in first and see if there are any baby ducks running around. I'll follow with my camcorder. This will make a great scene for my science project about baby animals. This is Bill, bringing you baby ducks, live from the Rankins barn. Hey! We're in luck. The ducklings haven't hatched yet. They're still inside their eggs. Sure, George. Look. You and me and other mammals come into the world as babies. But birds, ducks for example, come as eggs. Yep, Dumpling's babies will hatch from these eggs as long as she sits on them to keep them warm. Sprouts on her, George. If she doesn't sit on them, they'll get cold and never hatch. Oh, my battery died. I'll have to get another one. Don't let the eggs hatch without me, okay?
Where was Dumpling going? She was supposed to be keeping her eggs warm. The eggs were still warm, but if Dumpling didn't come back soon... George decided that if Dumpling wasn't going to sit on her eggs, he'd have to do it. Carefully. Well, sitting on a nest, hatching eggs, is actually pretty boring.
Thanks for loaning me a battery, sir.
No problem. I think that's great you're filming a duck hatching. No!
This I've got to get on tape. Bill here, bringing you a first. A city kid sitting on a nest of duck eggs.
George, why are you sitting on a nest of duck eggs?
It looks like he's trying to keep Dumpling's eggs warm.
Wow!
I don't believe it. A duck is hatching right before my very eyes. On camera.
Mr. and Mrs. Rankins, you don't want to miss this. Your ducks are hatching.
We'll be right there.
Saturday was a day when monkeys and men with yellow hats return books and get new ones.
A whole building full of books. What could be better than that, huh, George? Are you excited to get a new book, George? Adventurous Henry is one of my favorites, too. Maybe you should check it out again. It's called renewing a book. People do it all the time.
George was thrilled because the man with the yellow hat had only read the book to him 18 times.
That's strange. I don't see the librarian. Mrs. Dewey? Huh.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry for the mess. My work keeps stacking up.
George would like to renew a book, please.
I sure wish I had someone to help out today.
Something tells me George is available.
That's stupendous. Thank you, George.
George, I have some research to do. Will you be all right here by yourself? Well, then I'll be back in a few hours. Be a good little monkey librarian.
Okay, George. Would you mind going through this pile and separating out the DVDs?
George soon discovered that he was a super fast movie grabber and a super fast book scanner. And a super fast pencil sharpener.
Mrs. Dewey, please report to the main library immediately. 5 book clubs have arrived, all at once.
Oh, dear. I'll be back as soon as I can, George. Until then, it looks like you're in charge. Huh? You're a terrific helper.
George was in charge of a library. George wondered if he should put the rest of the books away. It seemed like something a monkey in charge would do. George had put the books away in record time. This librarian stuff was easy.
Hi, George. Where's the librarian? Oh, I see. Can you help me find Hundley's favorite book? It's called Dachshunds and Dandelions. It's a small yellow book. It's usually on this shelf.
A yellow book? No problem. George was very familiar with that color.
Nope, not it. Nope, and nope.
There were a lot of yellow books.
No, no, no. That's it! Dachshunds and Dandelions. See? Thanks, George. I'll check this out in the main library. Goodbye.
Finding books was hard. When the man with the yellow hat told George he was bringing home a wondrous animal called a chameleon, George decided to surprise it with a gift.
Hi, George. That's terrific. It looks just like jade. Take a look. Yeah, Professor Wiseman and I rescued her when she lost her jungle home. She's, there. See? Look, she's changing color.
Ooh.
Chameleons can do that. See, she's usually green like her jungle surroundings, and that's why we named her Jade. But under the sun's rays, she got warmer, and that made her change color. Watch. Chameleons change color when the temperature changes. And sometimes when their mood changes, too. Anyway, today Jade will get a new home at the zoo. That is, if I can convince Dr. Chroma that she's the kind of rare chameleon he's been looking for.
Oh.
Yep, I've already prepared my speech. Now I just need to pick up some posters. Hey, do you want to feed Jade while I'm gone? Oh, great. Her food's on the table. Just drop in a few pieces and she'll do the rest. Thanks, George. Bye-bye.
Jade had an amazing tongue. George wondered if he could get his tongue to work like that. George had left the cage open. And now Jade was gone. There was no way for George to get to Jade. He'd have to find a way to get Jade to come to him. Introducing Squeaky. What chameleon could resist? Nothing brought out the puppy and Hundley like a squeaky toy. The squeaks were coming from George's apartment. George hoped that Squeaky would lure Jade back to her cage. All he could do now was wait, quietly. On a hot day, it's a good idea if both you and your garden get plenty to drink. That's why the man with the yellow hat was making orange juice, while George watered the garden. Sort of.
Hey, George. George! How about taking a bath to wash all that mud off?
George was puzzled. Did the bathtub run out of water?
Hey, George, I'm not getting any water downstairs. How about you? I'd better call Mr. Quint.
George didn't understand why not having any water led to Mr. Quint digging up their yard.
Seeing as how I can't offer water, how about some fresh OJ?
Oh, wouldn't say no to that.
So, how's it look, Mr. Quint? Did our well run dry?
Oh, no, just a broken pump. You got plenty of water down there.
Huh?
There's water under the dirt, George.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, this here is your house. That's the water.
Huh.
And to get to it, all you have to do is dig a well.
Huh?
Yep, a well. See, a well is just a hole in the ground that's deep enough to reach water. And a pump, like that one there, suctions the water up and out. Sort of like the way you're using that straw. Every time you suck on it, you're pulling the orange juice up out of your glass.
See, this is actually an old pump, George. Years ago, people either did their washing here or used buckets to carry water inside. Water would get sucked into this pipe and then come out here. Yeah, just like that. Except you're not allowed to play with your food. Nowadays, an electric pump sucks up the water and sends it through a long pipe straight into our house. Easier than buckets, huh?
Well, your house won't be seeing water for a few more days, I'm afraid. I have to order you a new pump.
A few days? Well, I guess that means we're going back to the city, George. Some of us still need a bath.
There are those who appreciate a clean lobby. And then there's George.
Okay, go straight in and run a bath, George. Hello? Oh, Professor Wiseman. Oh, yes, that does sound serious.
Only one octopus?
Hey, George? I have to go help Professor Wiseman. Don't forget about that bath.
George decided that the best thing to do was to put all his toys in the tub.
Hi, leave a message when you hear the... George?
Hello? Is anyone there? I just wanted to make sure you saw that orange fly eye slipped under your door. We have to shut off all the water at 4 o'clock, which is... now!
George thought Professor Wiseman's beach house was great. This time, it was even greater because George had brought Yorbo, the friendliest robot ever.
Searching. Item found. Yorbo is great, yes?
Yorbo's next job was to help George and the man with the yellow hat pack a lunch for the beach.
No, not... Look out! Oh, sorry, George. I'm listening to an audiobook, The Slimy Sea Monster from the Sea. It's great and scary.
George didn't understand how something could be great and scary.
Thanks. Now, are you ready for a long hike to the beach? Ta-da! Oh, I hope we don't run into any slimy sea monsters. Whew.
George couldn't think of a better way to spend the day than exploring the beach with Yorbo.
items in here?
Say, George, you want to go swimming?
Ooh, good idea.
Sorry, Yorbo. Robots can't swim.
Could you read the manual again, please?
Well, George, if Yorbo was made of plastic, like your bucket, or wood, like this chair, he could go in the water. But Yorbo is made of metal, which rusts when it gets wet. And rust is very bad for metal, because it does this. Last monkey in is a rotten turnip. I guess a storm is coming. Correction, the storm is here. Quick, George, let's get inside. Made it. Okay.
George thought it would be fun to sit inside a cozy house and watch a storm with the man and Yorbo.
George, you can't go outside when there's thunder and lightning. Oh, Yorbo is out there. Don't worry. He'll get wet, but we'll clean and dry him before he has time to rust. As soon as the storm quiets down, we'll go get him. Hey, how about a game of tic-tac-toe?
George usually really enjoyed tic-tac-toe, but this time he couldn't get his mind off Yorbo.
Wow, the storm really did a number on the beach. Don't worry, George. Yorbo's a tough little robot. We'll find him. Under the seaweed? Could be. Okay.
But Yorbo wasn't under that seaweed. Or any of the seaweed.
Okay. Oh, I have to tell you, George, I am pretty excited. I've never been to a clown school before. Oh, just think. We get to see Pepe El Loco, the world's greatest clown performer. Okay, here we are. Just have to find a parking space. Oh, look, there's one right in front. Ah, it's okay. There's still room for us. Wow, Pepe El Loco is popular. Why don't you go in and save some seats for us while I park the car? The show is on the 9th floor.
This was the best school ever. And that was the funniest messenger ever. The elevator left without him. George decided he should take the stairs. The messenger clown dropped his bag. and his hat and nose. Maybe the messenger clown was going to Pepe El Loco's show too. George could give them back to him.
Yes! Sorry.
The stairwell doors didn't have numbers, but George could still find the 9th floor because George could count. 1, 2, 3, George had forgotten what number he was on. Maybe someone inside could help.
A messenger! Thank goodness you're here. Why aren't you in uniform? Company rules. All clown school employees must be in clown uniform at all times. Now, Pepe El Loco, the world's greatest clown, will be here in 15 minutes to perform his amazing show. But he'll need this. It's part of the greatest clown gadget ever. But it's top secret. Pepe mailed all the parts to different offices so no one would know what it was. I need you to pick them up and deliver them to Pepe.
George was excited to help Pepe. If he moved fast, he could pick up all the parts and still make the show.
The next gadget part you need to pick up is on the 5th floor. This will help you remember. Hurry! Pepe El Loco will be here in 14 and a half minutes. The elevators are tricky. Take the stairs to 5. You're on the 3rd floor now.
But how do you get from 3 to 5? George was super good at counting from 1 to 10, but counting from the middle was hard. And then George realized he could go down to the 1st floor, then count his way back up to 5. Okay, this was 1. A hero alone. Mission: find the 1 and restore it to its rightful place. Mere guards can't stop fearless George. He's tracked the 1 of 1s to here, the lair of the Dark Betsy.
It's Fearless George!
Help! I'm Professor Buford Fromage, famous for smartness.
Yay!
Help! I am free! And sore.
Even though Fromage is free, you will never get the 1 of 1s back.
She's right. You'll never find it. Because you'll never get past my big brass bubbly butt.
Time out! Time out, Steve!
Whoosh, clank. You mean Professor Fromage.
No, I mean Steve. Time out. Why are you sticking a robot on us? I'm supposed to be the bad guy this time.
Yeah, you're bad, but I'm secretly worse. It's a twist. Exciting. Unexpected.
Adventures are supposed to be full of surprises.
Whoosh, clank, clank, ha.
Betsy, Steve, time to go.
You want us to stop playing right at the exciting part?
Well, that means tomorrow you'll start playing right at the exciting part.
Hey, that's right.
George didn't want to mess everything up by cleaning, but he knew that you couldn't leave toys on the floor. Someone could get hurt.
Before we go, help George clean up.
It took so long to set all this up, we never got to find out how our high-stakes adventure ended.
George thought all night about how he could keep his toys set up. The next day, Betsy and Steve rushed over to play.
Let's set up as fast as we can. No time to waste. He already did it!
It's not as big, but it's also not on the floor.
Does that mean we don't have to spend time putting it all away? You're so smart. Why couldn't I have had a monkey instead of a brother?
You guys will never escape! Clank, clank!
There's no escape!
But George had an idea. Fearless George had to think fast.
Okay, now we're tied to the robot.
Ha! You'll never get the one!
I'm sorry. I thought it would be okay to set up out here, but it turns out Aunt Augusta's coming over for tea, so I'll need to use the table.
Oh,
Okay.
man!
That was too bad. Where else could George set up the toys?
Balcony. Great idea. I'll help you set it up out there. You can leave it as long as you want.
This is great, George. We don't have to waste a lot of time building it and then putting it away. It's a long way to those trees.
When farmers like Mr. Rankins were preparing for the livestock competition at the state fair. And George was helping.
I have high hopes for you, Ulysses. I think you're going to win a blue ribbon this year.
But, Grandpa, your animals always win blue ribbons.
Allie was right. Every animal did have a blue ribbon. Every animal except Howie the Hog.
Yeah, where's Howie's blue ribbon?
Howie wanted a ribbon more than anything, but somehow it never happened.
I've entered Howie a couple of times. He always starts out eager, don't you? But I guess he doesn't want the ribbon bad enough to train for it. Do you, Howie? He's so disappointed when he loses. I don't have the heart to train him again.
You're right, George. Maybe we could train Howie. Grandpa!
Here's the rule book. Good luck.
Washing a pig was easy.
Howie likes mud.
Once they got the kinks worked out. And the second step was a breeze.
Go!
Almost.
Well, how's it going?
Look, Grandpa. We got Howie washed and brushed.
Oh, that's the easy part. Well, good luck with the third step.
Looks like we walk Howie for 30 minutes and poke him with a stick. Poke him with a stick? Oh.
No wonder Howie didn't like training.
Allie, George, lunch!
But, Grandpa, why do we have to poke Howie?
Well, if there's another way to get a hog to exercise for half an hour, I'm all ears.
There had to be another way. It's hard to think when there's a pig snout tickling your ear.
Yeah, Howie's following your apple.
There was a way to get a hog to move without a stick. It was called an apple. Training hogs with treats was easy. Unless your hog was higher than your treat. But George knew how to get the treat taller.
Hey! It's working! Howie's exercising! Go, Howie, go! Whew. Howie's gonna win that blue ribbon for sure, huh?
Howie wanted to win that blue ribbon all right, but exercising made him really hot. And the mud was so cool.
Oh, Howie stopped exercising again. Maybe he gets too hot. And he needs another bath. Oh, good idea. Let's cool Howie off. It's too hot outside for Howie to exercise. Oh, I know. Grandma's living room is nice and cool. Howie can exercise there.
It was Marco's grandmother's birthday, and Marco was planning a big surprise dinner. He had an assistant to help out. Unfortunately, his assistant was a monkey.
Don't worry, George. It's just the masa. We have more. See, masa. You know, cornmeal. That's what I use to make Marco's famous tortillas. See, there's lots of... Uh-oh. I thought we had more.
If there was one thing George knew how to do, it was to fix things. This was the first time he'd broken food, but he knew where food came from. The store.
Masa? Oh, I am so sorry. I just sold my last bag.
But I promised my grandmother I'd make tortillas for her birthday. She was so excited. Plus, it's the only thing I know how to make.
Hang on. I think you're in luck. The delivery man is here.
Hey, it's Uncle Enrique. Uncle Enrique, it's Grandma's birthday.
Your abuela's birthday? Muy fantástico. You're going to make your famous tortillas, of course.
Of course.
Ah.
Only
Huh? Only?
we're out of masa.
Oh, no. No masa, no tortillas. But it turns out you're in luck.
You have masa on your truck?
Do I have masa? Come on, do I have masa? No, actually I don't. But I know where you get some.
Yay!
We'll have your masa en un momento. You're not going to believe this warehouse. Sí. That's where packaged food in the store comes from. Trucks like mine get food from warehouses like this and deliver it to grocery stores all over the city. Boys, prepare to be amazed.
Wow!
It's one of the biggest warehouses in the city. It has everything. If they don't have masa, nobody does.
Don't got it.
What?
Sorry.
You're telling me that in this whole entire warehouse there isn't one bag of masa? Not one?
I've had calls all week. Still waiting on a shipment. Unless... We had a pallet that came down one bag short last week. I think maybe it fell off up there.
All the way up there?
If anyone was an expert on up there, it was George.
Hey, lucky one of us is a monkey.
The warehouse manager was right. There was one bag of masa left. Marco's birthday surprise was saved.
George, you did it!
Wait, George, don't try to climb down with the bag in your hands. Just toss it. Toss it to me. Just toss it down. I'll catch it. Just toss it. I'm ready. Let her rip.
Watch out!
What?
Oh, so sorry. I was talking to...
Can't see. No.
On the first day of summer, George and Bill always played a game of Monkey Rules baseball.
Okay, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So here it is, the pitch that will decide the entire game. Ready? Got it! Don't got it!
Monkey Rules baseball is pretty much the same as regular baseball. You run around the bases, but then it gets complicated. You have to touch a fence. Something blue. A cow. And the man with the yellow hat.
Safe. I assumed you touched a cow.
That makes it a tied score.
I guess you'll have to play one more game to decide the title.
Sorry, no can do. As a newspaper delivery specialist, I know from sad experience the dangers of getting overheated. We need to cool off. We should take an inaugural dip in my pool. We'll cool right down once we get into that tank of green stuff? Huh? Algae! A city kid like you probably doesn't know this. But even though algae looks like grass, it's actually a lot of tiny organisms that grow in the water. Guess I should have covered the pool last fall. The The proper way to handle a situation like this is to dump it out and fill it with clean water. Ready? 1, 2, 3! It's not working! You lift the bottom, and I'll pull the top to flip it over. Well, this isn't going to work. We need a bulldozer to turn this over. A shovel? Not exactly the bulldozer I had in mind. Good idea, but it's going to take forever. Hang on, I know. Perfect! Here. We've only emptied that much? Ugh, these sure aren't moving enough water. I need a break. So hot. Good idea. The shade is a lot cooler. I'll pour some lemonade. Oh, my arms have given up. I know. I'm a genius. Don't move, George. I'll make you a really long one. I'll just stick a bunch of straws together. Okay. That should be long enough.
Sucking lemonade through that long straw turned out to be hard work. But eventually, it came. And kept coming. The straw wanted to keep going. How did the lemonade come out of the straw by itself?
Oh, okay, let's go empty that pool. Then we can really cool off.
There are lots of wonderful things to see in the desert. The man with the yellow hat and George were on a fossil-finding vacation there.
Here we are, George. The Quint's home away from home. I'll tell the Quints we're here.
That lizard had the fastest tongue George had ever seen. It seemed like everything moved fast in the desert. Including rabbits. Luckily, monkeys are pretty speedy, too.
Okay, George, ready to look for fossils? George?
Now, where could he have gone?
Hi there. I'm John Altaharne. You must be George. The Quints said their monkey friend George was coming to visit, and you're the only monkey I've seen today. Ah, what a wonderful interruption. In fact, my name, Atahalne, is Navajo for he interrupts. I'm a Hatari, a medicine man. One thing I do is make paint.
John's paint looked a lot like rocks.
You see? Instead of painting with paint, I paint with sand.
Oh,
I grind different colored rocks into sand.
Ooh,
The canyon has all the paint supplies I need.
Ooh.
Whatever colors I can't find there, I make with food. And then to paint, I take the sand and let it slip through my hands like this. And there you are, a George in sand.
George?
I think someone is looking for you. Should we go get him?
The man had to see this. John's painting used to be there. Now it was there, and there, and there.
George! John's going to go hunt fossils with us. Do you want to come? Or play with your rabbit friend? Okay, we're that way at the river if you need anything. Bye, George.
He needed to fix the painting before they came back. Luckily, he had a lot of paint supplies. But paint was very hard to make. Maybe John had some already ground up in those buckets. But it was all sand-colored sand. And then George remembered.
Whatever colors I can't find, I can make with food.
Oh, there you are. Would you like a snack?
Now George had lots of colors to choose from. George loved to travel. But this time was even better because he was traveling with his friend Marco.
Here we are.
Hey, George. What is this, Marco?
Hola, Professor Wiseman.
All ready for a weekend in the sun?
Yeah.
Okay, all set. Since you paddled out, I'll paddle back. Where are the paddles?
Don't need them. We're walking.
Huh?
The raft is for the boys and the luggage.
Huh? But how can they touch bottom?
It's low tide. Plus, we're standing on a sandbar.
It's a big pile of sand, only underwater.
The tide brought it in.
You remember the tide, George? The moon pulls on the ocean and makes the water come in and go out.
Wait until you see the tidal pool. The tide makes those too.
Sounds fun.
George and Marco were amazed by the tidal pools.
What do you guys think?
Look at all this.
It had fish starfish and anemones. And clams.
Hey, if you dig deep enough, maybe you'll find buried treasure.
Buried treasure?
Rumor has it the early explorers buried some around here somewhere, but no one's ever found it.
Hey, I bet we could find it. Ooh.
But finding buried treasure was harder than they thought.
The problem with looking for buried treasure on the beach is there's too much beach. You know what we should do? We should make our own buried treasure.
Luckily, monkeys always have lots of treasure with them.
Wow, that will make great treasure. We can use the box my mommy put the toothpaste and stuff in. But I haven't put in any treasure. I know. I can put in this. My silver wolf. My uncle made it in honor of our band, Lobos de Plata. It's my favorite thing ever. Now, we need a way to remember where it's buried. Good idea. We could measure from the pier. The treasure is 5 giant George steps away from the post with the rope on it. A dolphin!
It was deep winter, a time when the whole world seemed snowy and cold.
Here we are.
But this year was the snowiest and coldest ever.
Come on.
It was so cold that Jumpy Squirrel had decided to move indoors. The house had everything. It was warm, it was quiet, and thanks to Jumpy, it had lots of nuts.
It is cold in here. Let's turn up the heat.
The man and the monkey were back. Jumpy had to get out fast. But no sooner was he out than he wanted back in. Luckily, Jumpy had a lot of in and out doors. Now he just needed to sneak past the monkey. But monkeys have very sharp ears.